Okay, Professor Heppell, it's such a pleasure to have you here today with us. I want to start with your talk that you're going to give now. So it's called What Others Are Doing, which sounds simple, but carries a big idea. Learning from others, I suppose. Why do you think it's so important to look outwards in education today?
I think it's true of everything, actually. I mean, if I was designing a Formula One car, I'd want to see what the others are doing. We learn from each other. And just at the moment, the pace of change is so great, we've got to learn as fast as we can. And looking around the world is amazing. I mean, folk listening to this, in Japan, the children clean the school. They have no janitors, they scrub the floors, clean the toilets. In Denmark, the teachers, if they have 1 hour of teaching, they have 1 hour of preparation. So everybody does it differently. And some of it's really silly, but some of it's quite good. So we learn about learning.
I completely agree with that. So for example, do you also take examples and do you take inspiration from other people? What are some people that you have taken inspiration from?
So for the talk here, I'm showing people like to see concrete, real things, It's no good being a professor and talking about the theory, They say, yeah, but what are they doing, What's happening? So I'm showing what others are doing, and there are surprises in that. There's a school 10 miles from where I live. I live on the east coast of England. It's called 10 miles from me, where the students start a university course at 16. So they do the beginning of their university in school. When they start university, they've only got a year and a half to go to finish, which is really unusual, but
it's not.
The kids love it. You could do that. If I said to you, why don't you do your degree now? You'd say, yeah, bring it on, Of course you would. Of course you would. We learn from that.
Yeah, that is really. And for example, for us, like schools like SEK or UCJC, how can they build a stronger culture of curiosity and openness to other ideas?
Well, I've been working with the SEK community for 12 years now, a long time. And the reason is because it's a community, it's a family. Rebecca said from the platform this morning, she used a family word. It really is. And there's nothing more important than who you belong to. That's why the school uniform matters. I mean, it's silly to have to wear a blazer and a tie, but the others are wearing it, so you're part of their family,
So you're sharing that with them. There's no difference between you.
Really matters. So, we don't advance by doing better degrees. Our degrees are good. By passing exams better, our results are great. We advance by being a better community. And one of the things I'm showing here, I used AI to search the world, looked at all the student councils. Every school has a student council. I looked at their minutes and I looked at their agendas and said, around the world, what students care about in schools. And the biggest word, when we built the word cloud, community.
You think community is really important?
Community matters. I mean, they could have said bullying or AI or drugs, or there's a community, the thing we most care about. And that tells a story.
It really does. Do you think community, for example, is one of the most valuable assets that we have as...
Yeah, well, it's a special organisation anyway, because it's led by a family. So we're not led by a hedge fund or a bunch of shareholders or a madman. It's a family organisation.
It really does.
And that helps us to be a family of learners. That really matters. People have no idea how valuable that is. It's the most valuable thing we have.
Yeah, I agree with that. That humanity that is within that community and family is really important that we can find.
Yeah, I think our parents are going to be more and more important in all that, because the speed of change is getting faster and faster. So the family's growing.
Yeah. It really is. And for example, right now, artificial intelligence is changing how we learn and teach. How can AI help us personalized learning without losing the human side, that family, that community that you mentioned?
Yeah, well, you have a bit of an interest in psychology anyway, so I'm going to show some examples of AI just in the classroom and in the family, but a lot of the rhetoric around AI is about individualized learning, personalized learning, and actually a lot of learning is about learning together. The other guys you do your homework with, people you play sport with, the people you chat to in the morning about the weekend, So AI is not very good yet at helping us to be social. And so AI is very me to you, you to me, me to you. It will be more social, but it isn't yet. And that really matters. But, AI makes a teacher's job. I'm showing a thing today of taking a 9-year-old's writing in an exercise book and just saying to the AI, just mark this for me, will you? And the quality of what we get back, in terms of praise, in terms of advice, in terms of, good feedback on grammar is fabulous. But the work had already been marked by a teacher who had underlined a bit and put a tick, written well done, But compared to what the AI gave her, and by the way, the AI said at the end, I read millions of children's work. Yours is very good. And you imagine 9-year-olds, somebody saying, I've marked 1 million children's work and yours is special. Imagine how you feel, So AI can do the things we can't do, or we can't afford to do, or we can't do fast enough. It doesn't yet do social, and it will have to.
And do you think there's certain skills, like a certain skill set that students will have in the next decade that they will need then, that we don't necessarily need now?
Yeah, a lot of schools around Europe, school children are taught to program. But nobody's going to program. I'm already programming with a conversation with ChatGPT or others. I say, okay, I'm thinking of a program. I saw this morning, Chap was showing a wheel for choosing, a simple thing. I thought, that's really good, I want one of those. His went wrong. It was written by Google. I thought I could do better than that. While he was talking, I was just asking the question to do the programming. So programming isn't a skill, but prompt engineering is, for sure. It's lovely, by the way, to be here with all these people actively talking about their learning. It's a wonderful thing, really good. But prompt engineering, there will be degrees in prompt engineering. If you do nothing with your holidays, learn prompt engineering. How to write better prompts.
No, I really agree with that. And how can teachers, for example, how can they guide this transformation for us students?
Teachers have seen amazing transformation. The teachers have taught through wars. You go to Gaza, which used to have the highest literacy rate in the whole region, and they're teaching kids in rubble. Teachers are still doing a great job. Or you go to, the United States at the moment with so many kids being shot at a weekly, drill to hide under the desk. Teachers are still doing great teaching. It doesn't matter what comes along, they go, okay, we can do this. And they do. They're really resilient professionals. And people forget that. I'm pretty old. I was at school in the 60s, the swinging 60s was a great time, partying every night. But, the teachers there had never seen rock and roll. They'd never seen mini skirts. They'd never seen pop music. They still taught. So it doesn't matter what we throw at teachers. Most of them will say, that's interesting, let's have a go. One or two will run away. No loss.
Do you think this is going to be the biggest change that the education system has suffered?
Oh, the biggest change for teachers is there's a lot of other jobs they could do, because suddenly everybody wants to learn. Every profession, every company, things we did here looking at nutrition, because it's good for your brain, were copied in England in the prison service, because what prisoners eat affects how they behave. So they've made the prisons calmer by copying the work children did in the schools here, you know. So teachers will be headhunted by other professions, but if they are, they won't be working with children. And that's the most fun. So they won't all go, they'll stay. Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you.
It's
Really,
a pleasure.
thank you.
It's a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Heppell.
Thank you.